Hi, welcome back to the 6th video in this course. In this video, we are going to talk about occlusion shadows. Before we get into it, first set up your layers. First step, duplicate your shadow layer and name it occlusions. Then, remove everything from your layer mask so we can see the entire color fully, overlapping our colors. Then, darken your occlusion layer so that it appears black, but don't make it black. Black doesn't really exist in nature on purpose. What we want is a very dark color that, when applied, appears black without actually being black. Then, make a copy of your ink-line layers and merge them. To help myself, I'm going to call the layer Ink Lines Merged. Then lower the opacity. Why we do this? So we can see if the occlusion shadows we are applying have the desired effect. With that said, let's take a look how to apply them. Occlusion shadows are shadows that are created when two objects touch. We can also call them contact shadows. These are created because light is unable to come in between those individual areas. For example, adding with a soft brush a dark line in between our hair and our head will create this idea of separation. This is the power of the occlusion shadows. It can help us push individual things apart. For example, the straps of the sword and of the post bag are sitting on top of the shirt. With an occlusion shadow, we can separate these two individual things and create a sense of depth in our image. Occlusion shadows are an incredible thing to use in your art, and I highly suggest learn how to apply them. If you follow along in this video, I will give you enough tips to get you started. For example, I make a small selection of the little flap of my belt. Then I go to my belt waist layer and I make a selection of the entire belt. And I subtract a selection of the post bag. This way I can have a clean selection and add an occlusion shadow underneath the shirt or where the shirt and the belt touch. As you can see, it makes a huge difference. Do you see how it instantly creates a sense of depth, a sense of volume to our objects? Let's try a little more. Let's try it with the hair. You will see it much clearer because the hair is a very light color. Selecting the hair layer, I use a soft brush to add the occlusion shadow to the hair. This way, we can separate the hair and the body to make it so that they're not attached to each other, but that they are their individual objects. When applying occlusion shadows, you need to familiarize yourself with the lasso tool. This tool, any lasso tool for that matter, for example, the polyline tool or the lasso tool itself, they will help you make selections of your objects so that we can divide them from each other. Having our colors on separate layers, this will facilitate the selecting and deselecting of those objects. This process is a slow process because we need to look at anything that is touching something else. Now, if I remove the lines, you can see that it already has a huge effect. Let's add some to the hair. With the lasso tool, it's very easy to make a smooth selection. Keep in mind, it does require some practice to get the hang of this, but once you do, you'll see how easy and effective this is. And even though it takes some extra time, it will instantly increase the quality of your image. With a selection made, I'm going to deselect the skin layer and deselect the green layer, and I'm going to add the occlusion shadow behind the pluck of hair that's sticking out from the side of her head. Doing this will push the hair backwards and push the pluck forwards, indicating that there is a space in between them. We can say that behind here, light has a lot of trouble reaching it. However, it has no problem reaching the pluck of hair which is sticking out in front of the hair on the back of her head. We do the same with these individual strands of hair behind her body. Keep in mind that using the lasso tool requires a good deal of patience. So make sure you are well rested and ready to continue your artwork. Make sure that before starting with the occlusion shadows, you have taken a moment to step away from your art and clear your mind. Aside from objects that touch each other, areas such as here underneath the dress are also causing occlusion shadows to exist, simply because occlusion shadows are where light has trouble reaching. As we are approaching the final step for our artwork, it is a good moment to, while you work zoomed in, see if you need to make any edits. For example, any shadows that are sticking out, any lights that you need to adjust. It's a very important moment because now that you are zoomed in, this is the time. To give my brain and my eyes some rest, I'm going to change my activity. I'm going to make a duplicate layer of only the eyes, and I want to bring them back to full opacity. In your art, always make sure that the viewer can see the eyes clearly. When we look at people, usually the first thing we look at are eyes. So we need to make sure that our eyes and our eyebrows, our pupils, aren't disappearing with the rest of the lines. Now we will make some more edits later, but for now I want to make sure that my eyes are clearly visible in my image. So have a moment to make a copy of your eyes and make sure you return them to full, if not almost full opacity, so that their lines are much darker than the lines around them. A last thing I want to show you is a cool trick to not erase our lines, but to give some extra detail to our image. Put your ink lines merged to full opacity and add a layer mask. Then with a soft brush, start erasing very softly the lines on the inside of our character. Try to avoid touching the outer lines so that we keep a straight outline around our character. As you see me dance around the image, you should too. Look for the lines that are very harsh, that we don't really need. For example, lines that are touching our occlusion shadows, lines that are immersed in shadow. We don't need all those lines. Doing this will give that extra effect of realism, and it will show that all our hard work, our shadows, our light, our rim light, and our occlusion shadows are carrying the image, not our lines. That's it for this video. Join me in the next video where we are going to look at how to add some variation to the colors of our character so that we can demonstrate to a potential client that our character can hold different colors. I'll see you in the next video.